All right, I'm going to say shalom to everyone. Thank the Most High for the first part of the Sabbath, which is Friday sundown. A lot of people don't probably know that. But based on this particular video, I would like to thank all the subscribers uh, for subscribing to this channel. Um, this channel is not about Melvin, which is me. It's about Holy Vessel 34, which is the date and the year. I was 34 years old when I started this channel, so I'm kind of, I guess, giving out a small little biography of who I am. Um, I was in the Christian doctrine um, for since I was a baby. I mean, I probably was born in a church. I stayed in the church. My father was a minister, so this was embedded in me, since I was a kid. And So I have an advantage based on some people, and a lot of us do. And that's the reason why the Most High even allowed us to go to the Christian doctrine, the Christian churches, not to always belittle those that's in the Christian church, but to see, but hold up, man, we come from the Christian church, so we should know that delusion that they are under. So we have to be humble, which is a little tough, but Titus chapter 3 make it very clear. You can't be no brawlers. You know, you have to talk to people on a scholarly level. Um, and that is one of the issues that we have, that we're doing wrong as people. Even myself, I stand corrected on a lot of things that I've done that was, you know, when you know you're right, you want to get that information out, and you kind of you get into it, get into that passion, but it's not directed the correct way. Yeah, but I wanted to, basically, um, thank you all, because like I said, a lot of people could have went to another page, or even those of you that unsubscribe, it's okay. Negative comments, that's okay, but if it's disrespectful comments, I'm gonna shut that down. Your message is going to be removed immediately. I don't have time for that no more. I'm done playing games with people that you know want to constantly talk trash on comments. That's a wrap. Cutthroat for all that. I'm cutting that out. Period. I don't have time for it. All right. But if it's a negative comment on a video that you didn't like or whatever, then I understand. And what I do is always look back to make sure that what I was talking about in a particular video is is pretty much on point. And if it's not, then I'll definitely say, no, I'm wrong. All right. But usually, when it comes down to the Most High's word, if you just follow what you hear, it's gonna be right. It may not be in depth and all the way, you know, critique in the way you may want to hear it. It may be just basic to certain people, but it is based on the scriptures and the scriptures only. You know, um, I'm gonna get into another video. I may do one later on today. I'm not sure, but of course, class is tomorrow, so I need to go to sleep and get some rest, or try to get some rest. Um, but I wanted to get kind of like go into some information, why we have different interpretations of the scriptures. I don't think I ever covered. I have so many videos. I don't remember covering that particular information on why we have so many different interpretations of scripture. Um, so I may do an actual video on that to explain the reason why, and explain the reason why we shouldn't. All right. So I'll get into a video on that as well. I probably would do that maybe. I may do it tonight. I'm not sure, but that's pretty much it. This is kind of like an announcement as well. Like I said, tomorrow class will render around 6. I think I put 6 on the invite. Yeah, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think 3 hours before to be 3. It will be, my math. It's off. How many more hours, Melvin? The 3. It'll be 3 p.m. Pacific time. All right. So there you all, have it. What else I wanted to say in this announcement, real quick? Um, the news, is. it is what it is. You know, you had Whitney Houston's daughter's daughter died. Barbara Christina. She died at the age of 22. I'm sure y'all already know this. That's pretty sad. Um, Even though I know a lot of us are that it seems like it's more sad when you're in the truth because you know that this person didn't get it's like, man, and it's young and you're young and your life is pretty much just starting. That's sad, man. You get and that could have happened to any of us. Don't think because we in this truth and don't start boasting because a lot of this knowledge that we're getting is from the Most High anyway. So he could have woke her up and we could have been jacked up and caught up in the wrong crowds and it all started with her mom. Her mom, may she rest in peace. Um, with all due respect, it started with her mom. When you're in Hollywood, they're gonna come after your family if they're done with you, if you have certain things that they want to get out of you. Even Shaka Khan said that you're more, you're worth more alive. I mean, you're worth more dead than alive. You see what I'm saying? So it goes back to her, and even if I can kind of like remember the story. Even when uh, Whitney Houston died, um, some family members, I can't remember exactly who, was scared for Bobby Christina's life. And how you die the same way your mom did. Come on, man. That's that's pretty much telling you that that Hollywood world is straight evil. Straight evil. I know some of them celebrities, and I actually know a few that have uh, actually linked into this particular channel. They know that some of them wish they never got into it. They wish they never got into it. But they're not gonna really always tell you, even though. Let me just go into some scriptures about how this Illuminati. Like I said, I guess this is gonna turn into a small little lesson. I ain't even want to go that route, but um, I was looking earlier when I was trying to make another type of this video before I didn't wasn't um, going into the information I wanted to go into on another video that I did in regards to this. So this is like a revised information. I pulled up the Bible in an old video that I did about 5 minutes ago in regards to the Illuminati. Is it written in scripture? Sacrificing kids. Now, this is what I want to say. This is how you know that we're the children of Israel. Okay? You know that we're the children of Israel because predominantly from a scale nine from a scale from 1 to 10, it's usually the children of Israel sacrificing their kids, passing them through the fire. That's what the scriptures call it. You're sacrificing your kid, you're killing them, or your family member. What people do that? What do you hear usually? What people? Of course, you're gonna have a few other nations get caught up in it, but usually it be our people killing each other off in that industry. Okay, now let's go into the scriptures that I pulled up earlier. I'm gonna go to let's go to Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21. Leviticus 18, verse 21, and it says, "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Moloch, neither shalt thou profane the name of the Most High, Ahiah, the Creator." Okay, so it's actually telling you in Leviticus 18, verse 21, don't sacrifice your kid to a god, Moloch. Okay, that's what it's real easy. It's not that hard to figure out. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10. "There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch." Eventually, when you read through, these people get put to death, of course, nowadays you have grace through Christ. But usually, I hate to say it, the Most High has allowed the spirit of reprobate to come over them. He's he just let them, they're gonna kill each other. There's no turning back. Now, what I'm reading here is your Illuminati, the based on our people during this time. Because the people that was putting these Moloch and these different gods up are your Illuminists today that was worshiping these demons, these falling angels, kids. Nephilim. That's who they are. Every time you Bohemian Groves and all these places, they set up small little areas so they can do witchcraft. Burning this and burning that and all that. Straight witchcraft. So it's really nothing changed. It's nothing changed, okay? All right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 32 verse 35. Jeremiah 32 verse 35, and it says, "And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Moloch, which I commanded them not, neither came into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin, to cause Judah to sin, to cause the Negro in America to sin, to cause the Zebulonites to sin, all the children of Israel, all over the place, all of our people. Judah is the reason why Judah is being mentioned here as magnified is because they're the head tribe. Okay? And they built their high places of Baal. That's talking about Jehovah. Because when you look up Baali, it links to the symbolical name of Jehovah, which is Yahweh, the golden calf, which leads to Satan's spirit, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire into Moloch, which I commanded them not. Pass through the fire. Anytime you see pass through the sons and daughters pass through the fire, there's a lot of celebrities that do that. Child sacrifice. Because a child is at a kid at that time is pure. He's untainted. So that's why our people do that. Now today it's the same thing. And it got more, it got worse when you passing a family member through the fire, being sacrificed, being killed. I mean, you got a firearm, right? You kill somebody, you shoot them dead because you want to be successful in Hollywood some freaking way. So it's passing the fire is a little different, of course, like you see in the scriptures when you see the word uh, the arrows in Revelation is not talking about a bow and arrow; it's talking about a missile, right? Let's go to Ezekiel 16, verse 21. That thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. Let's go to verse 26. It's Ezekiel 20, verse 26. And I polluted them in their own gifts, in that they caused to pass through the fire all that opened up the womb, that I might make them desolate to the end that they might know that I am the Most High. So the Most High allowed you to be polluted because you didn't keep the commandments. Okay? So, like I said, I'm pretty much just doing excerpts of scriptures because I didn't want to get into a big lesson. But thank the subscribers for subscribing to the page. Um, I already said the class is tomorrow at 6 p.m., 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, I'm going to get into some real good information. Like I said, I'm not going to give it all out at once and just put it out. I'm going to give it to you all slow. All right. And that's how I'm going to do that. So there you have it. I'm pretty much done. I talked about 15 minutes. So love you all. This is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.